This is an introduction to a powerful teaching and learning intervention called flipped learning. Now, flipped learning allows for real differentiation in your lessons. It improves student engagement, raises challenge levels, and makes our students work harder. Now, the basic premise of this is that students do classwork at home and homework in class. Over the next few minutes, I'll be telling you how, and most importantly, why you should flip students' learning. So, the traditional model of teaching. Now, usually it's teacher-led, so the teacher introduces ideas and concepts within the lesson. It's content-driven, so students are mainly remembering and understanding information in your lessons, and they have little time to apply that information. Now, because of the short amount of time you actually have with the students, some students can't keep up with the pace and don't ask questions for fear of failure. The teacher then gives homework to check students' understanding, but they have little or no support if they become stuck. So, the flip model. The teacher gives a short tutorial video at home so students can learn the content, very similar to what we're doing here. The lesson then becomes more about the application of knowledge that they've learned at home. So it's application of content driven. The teacher guides and facilitates learning within the lesson and micro teaches students who are stuck. The challenging homework tasks then become classwork, and students are able to collaborate more within the lesson because they've all got some information to go off. So in school at the moment, we flip our lessons in GCSE and A-level PE, and we use a template similar to one that's on the screen now to guide students at home. Now, the template on the left-hand side is a blank example, and you can see we've got the Solo taxonomy icons on there, which gives them an indication of the level of detail they need to put into their responses. And then on the right-hand side, you can actually see an example of one of my GCSE students, the work that they've produced. And as you can see, that's really, really detailed work, which we might not actually get in normal lesson time. So why flip your class? Well, as you saw on the screen before, they've got more time to complete the classwork. They can pause and rewind the teacher at home, something they can't do in class. Now, we're constantly trying to move our students through Bloom's taxonomy. In a traditional class, this can be quite low level, surface learning, as you can see on the screen, understanding and remembering type activities. Now, in a flipped class, students work up the taxonomy much earlier and hopefully get into deep learning much quicker. So does it work? Flipped learning is one of the many teaching interventions we can use. Now, John Hattie is a well-known educational professor in the world, and he measured the effect of these interventions and published them in this book called Visible Learning for Teachers: Maximising Impact on Learning. He measured teaching effect sizes, and he said that a teaching intervention should be used if it is higher than 0.4. So on the screen here, you can see the measurement scale that he uses. Any intervention size above 0.4 leading up to 1.2 is where we want to be teaching. Anything less and teaching and learning is hampered, so students wouldn't make any progress. So a teacher taught 2 units of work, one traditionally and one flipped. In the traditional class, the effect size was 0.56, so it was interventions that should be used. And in the flipped class, it increased to 0.86. So a massive, massive gain using the flipped learning. Now, the nearer to 1 you can get, you can have a whole grade's impact on a student's outcomes. So the basics to flip your class. What do you need to do? Well, firstly, you need a PowerPoint with the content on that you want to deliver to your students. You need a working laptop or computer or iPad, so you can actually record your video presentation. And then you need a microphone, so you can talk into that. And that is it. You don't need much more. So it's very simple to flip your class. Now on Wednesday, in our faculty meeting, we're going to be having a go. What I need you to do is download a program called Hypercam, which I'll show you how to do in a second. You need to bring a PowerPoint presentation that you're going to be delivering to your students in the next couple of weeks. And you need your laptop. And finally, I want you to think of questions based on this presentation I've given to you on flipped learning, things that you want to ask or I might not have covered in as much detail for you. Now the questions are really important in a flipped learning lesson. They form the basis of learning, and you need to get students to ask as many questions as possible. So Hypercam. If you go to your Internet Explorer, and in the search bar you're going to type in Hypercam. Enter, and then the Hypercam Hyperionics, click on that. It says download Hypercam version 2 for free. You click on that, and then you click on download Hypercam from server 1. Once you've done that, all you need to do is click run at the very bottom of your screen and go through the steps that it asks you to do. I'll see you on Wednesday.